ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। 85th class. वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
वासुदेवेन्द्र
वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं
नत्वा
ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुम्
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधोऽभिधीयते।
अथ चतुर्विंशति तत्त्वोत्पत्ति प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः।
अथ चतुर्विंशति तत्त्वोत्पत्ति प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः।
ब्रह्माश्रया सत्त्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति।
ब्रह्माश्रय सत्त्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति।
ततः आकाशः सम्भूतः।
ततः आकाशः सम्भूतः।
आकाशात् वायुः।
आकाशाद्वायुः।
वायोस्तेजः।
वायोस्तेजः।
तेजस आपः।
तेजस आपः।
अद्यः पृथिवी।
अद्यः पृथिवी।
एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये
एतेषां पञ्चतत्त्वानां मध्ये
आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्
आकाशस्य सात्विकाशात् श्रोत्रेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्
सात्विकांशात्
सात्विकां
not सात्विकाशात् सात्विकांशात् सात्विका plus amshat a plus सात्विकाम सवर्ण दीर्घ संधि सात्विकांशात् वायोः सात्विकांशात् त्वगिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्
वायोः सात्विकांशात् द्विगीन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्.
That is another part of Tvagindriyam. Last class I said Vagindriyam. Vak also is there. Vak also, that is the tongue. The tongue for taste as well as touch. Taste is possible only through touch. Tvak is skin. Skin for sparsha, touch. For the perception, touch perception. Skin. Skin is used. Skin by skin only. The perception, touch is possible. Tongue is also nothing but a skin only. It is meant for touch as well as taste. Tasting by touch. But there is another part of Veda, another reading is that Vagindriyam. As a taste organ, it does two function. Okay. As a karmendriya, it does the action of speech. Vak, that is speech. As the jnanendriya, it is meant for touch. It's meant for touch or taste. Okay, this is point to be noted. Then next one, Agnege Satvikam Shat Chakshurindriyam Sambhutam.
अग्नेः सात्विकांशात् चक्षुरिन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्.
Jalasya Satvikam Shat Rasanendriyam Sambhutam.
जलस्य सात्विकांशात् रसनेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्.
This is why it is, I said it is, that Tvak is better, Satvikamshat Tvagindriyam, because Jalasya Satvikamshat Rasanendriyam. Rasanendriyam is tongue, Rasana. So therefore, if you take the second Vayogo Satvikamshat Rasanendriyam or Vakindriyam, then it seems to be repeated twice. Therefore, Tvak we say for Vayu, that is for touch, and for Jala we say Rasana. So it is split. So skin, that is for sparsha, tongue for taste. The tongue is for touch and taste. Touch is there, then taste. But predominant job is taste. Therefore, the touch part is attributed to skin. The taste part is for the tongue. The division is made. So there's you can see the correction. So Tvagindriya, Rasana is tongue. Rasana is Tvagindriyam only. But if it is for sparsha, then it is, we have to take it as Vayoga Satvikamshat. If it is for taste, then Jalasya Satvikamshat. But we can exclude from Tvagindriyam the taste, the touch, the taste organ, tongue. Touch organ can be included in Tvak. Taste organ, as taste organ, it is excluded. And it is included in the Rasanendriya, Jalasya Satvikamshat. Prithivyaha Satvikamshat Ghranendriyam Sambhutam.
पृथिव्याः सात्विकांशात् घ्राणेन्द्रियं सम्भूतम्.
We are discussing Samashti. The Samashti, we are discussing at the Samashti level, that is Samashti Vichara, otherwise called Ishvara Vichara or Srishti Vichara. So the creation at the, now in that we are discussing the creation at the Sukshma level. The main topic is Ishvara. Ishvara Vichara, otherwise called Samashti Vichara, we know. And it begins with the Sukshma Srishti, creation at the subtle level. So from Maya Sagita Brahma, Maya Sagita Brahma, Brahmashaya Maya, from that Sukshma Akasha is born, Akashaga Sambhutaha. From the Sukshma Akasha, Sukshma Vayu. From the Sukshma Vayu, Sukshma Agni. From Sukshma Agni, Sukshma Apaha. From Sukshma Apaha, Sukshma Prithvi. All the Panchamaha Bhuta, the Tanmatras are created. All the 5 subtle elements are created. This is called Panchabhuta Srishti. What Panchabhuta Srishti? Sukshma Panchabhuta Srishti. The creation of subtle 5 elements. And we have seen Akasha as the guna of Shabda, sound. Vayu as the guna of sound and touch. Agni as the guna of sound, touch and form. And water, Apaha, as the guna of sound, touch, form and taste. Prithvi has got all the gunas. It has the guna of sound, touch, form, taste and smell. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. 5 gunas Prithvi has. Akasha is the most subtle one because it has got only 1 guna, Shabda guna. Prithvi is least subtle. Why? Because it has the most number of gunas. The more the number of gunas, lesser will be the subtlety. Lesser the number of gunas, the more it will be subtle. Akasha is subtlest, Prithvi is least subtle. So, Akasha, Vayu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi, the 5 elements as the exclusive property of Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, respectively. And since Akasha, from Akasha only everything is born, therefore, that which is born will inherit the property of the Karanam. Water may be the Karanam. If it is Vayu, it will inherit the property of Akasha. If it is Agni, it will inherit the property of Akasha plus Agni. That is why Agni has got the guna of Akasha, which is Shabda, and the guna of Vayu, which is Sparsha, and the exclusive guna of itself, that is form. So like that, we have to apply for all these. We have seen that elaborately in the previous classes. We have seen. So 5 elements and 5 properties, respective 5 properties. And also we have 5 senses. Shotram, Tuk, Chakshu, Rasana, Granam. 5 sense organs are the ears, skin, eyes, tongue and nose. So 5 sense organs meant for perceiving 5 properties of the sense objects. That is how Bhagavan has created. So everything is Pancha. That is why it's called Prapancha. Prapancha is this Jagat. Okay, now the Sukshma Pancha Bhutas were created. So after this, the next stage in the sequence of creation is the creation of subtle body. The subtle body has got the Saptadasha Kalabhihi, Itatishthati, Tat Sukshma Shariram we saw. Now, Sukshma Shariram is going to be talked about. So, the Indriyas, Pancha Jnanendriyas were created from the Pancha Mahabhuta, Sukshma Pancha Mahabhuta. So, Indriyas are created. Now, after that, Indriya, what is the next one? Antakaranam. That is going to be talked about. So, this 5 subtle elements, that is apanchikrita pancha mahabhutaihi kritam. This Sukshma Shariram. We have seen the definition of Sukshma Shariram. You have to remember, discussed elaborately. Apanchikrita pancha mahabhutai kritam iti we have seen. That is, the 5 elements has not undergone grossification process. Panchikritam. What is Panchikritam? That we are going to see. The author himself is going to explain. Panchikritam means grossification. The elements becomes gross. From the grossified elements, the gross body and the gross the Indriya, that is Golakas, are going to be born. Now we are discussing at this Sukshma level. Therefore, Apanchikritam, non-grossified. Non-grossified means what? Subtle. So Apanchikrita Pancha Mahabhutam. That's why 5 subtle elements were created. And from the 5 subtle elements, 5 Jnanendriyas are born. How? From the Sattvika aspect of each element, each sense organ is born. So it is done. So fine. Now, Sukshma Shariram consisting of what? Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadayaha, Ekam Manaha, Eka Buddhihi. We have seen. Iti Saptadasha Kalabhihi Saha Yati Tishtati Tat Sukshma Shariram. Therefore, Sukshma Sharira Srishti is going to be talked about at the individual level, the creation of Sukshma Shariram. So this is a second stage. The first stage is the creation of Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutani. The second level is the creation of this subtle body. So, the Pancha Mahabhutani, Bhutani means elements. Bhutani is elements. Bhutam, Bhute, Bhutani, Napumsakalinga Shabda, Bhutani. From the Bhutani, from the elements, what is created from the elements? That is called Bhautikani, elementals. So, from the Pancha Mahabhuta, the Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadayaha, Manaha, Buddhihi, that is, the Sukshma Shariram is going to be born. So, therefore, Sukshma Shariram is created from the Pancha Mahabhuta. Therefore, that which is created is called Bhautikam. Therefore, Sukshma Shariram is Bhautika Shariram, made from Bhautika. Bhautika means made from Bhuta, made from the elements. So, Sukshma Bhautika Srishti, that is a second stage. Sukshma Bhautika Srishti means Sukshma Sharira Srishti, creation of subtle body. Sukshma is, this Sukshma Shariram is Bhautika Shariram. It is made from Bhuta, Pancha Mahabhuta. Therefore, it is Bhautika. That which is made from Bhutam, Bhutani is called Bhautikani. Sukshma Shariram is created from the Pancha Mahabhuta. Therefore, it is Bhautika, and therefore Bhautika Srishti, Sukshma Sharira Srishti, or Sukshma Bhautika Srishti. Okay. So that is the second stage. Now, these 5 subtle elements we saw, which are born of Maya. Since Maya has these 3 gunas, therefore these 5 subtle elements also has got 3 gunas inherited from Maya. Sattva, Rajas, Tama, Gunatvika Maya. Maya is the parent from which the Pancha Mahabhutani were born. Therefore, since Maya has the 3 gunas, therefore these 5 elements also will enjoy the 3 gunas. Karana gunaha karye vartante. the gunas which are there in the karanam, the cause, that will be seen in the product also. Therefore, the gunas of the karanam are inherited by the karyam. Karanam being maya, and the karyam being the panchamahabhutani, and therefore panchamahabhuta also will have three gunas: sattva, rajas, tamas iti. From the sattva aspect of the guna, the indriyas were born. So therefore, the maya is the karanam, and the panchamahabhutani are the karyam, and therefore panchamahabhuta enjoying these gunas from which this indriyas etc. are going to be born, which form the second stage. Karanatmaka mayayaha janitanam karyatmaka panchabhutanam gunaha karana anusarinaha bhavanti. So this is a general logic. That is, karanam follows the properties of the karanam. Karanam follows the karyam. Just the karyam, you will see the properties of the karanam. Yasmat yat jayate tat karanena vyapyate. This is another understanding, logical understanding. That which is permeated, that which is born from which, that karanam. The karanam pervades the karyam. The karyam is pervaded by the karanam. Therefore, here the panchamahabhutas were born. So therefore, like akasha, etc., will have the three gunas. Therefore, sattvika akasha, rajasika akasha, tamasa akasha, iti. Similarly, vayu, etc., all the five elements. So therefore, from the sattvika amshat, this individual indriyas are born. Iti, we have seen the previous class. To put it in Sanskritam, what we have seen. Sukshma akashat shotrendriyam jayate. Yasmad bhutat yat indriyam jayate tasya bhutasya vishesha gunam tat indriyam janati. That is the unique property of the elements determine the corresponding faculty of the sense organs which are born of those elements. So, Sukshma akashat shotrendriyam jayat. From the Sukshma akasha, the ear, the indriya, ear is born, shotrendriya. Therefore, Sukshma akashasya vishesha shabdagunam shotrendriyam janati. Therefore, the vishesha gunam of the akasha, which is shabda, that shotrendriya, the ear knows. That is why ear is meant for sound listening. So similarly for the other elements, Sukshma vayoho tugindriyam jayate sambhutam. Tasya Sukshma vayoga vishesha sparsha gunam tugindriyam janati. Since the unique property of Sukshma vayu being sparsha, the touch, therefore the sense organ, the skin, which is born of Sukshma vayu, it has the ability of the perception of touch. From the sattvika aspect of Agni, the sense organ, eye was born. Sukshma tejasaha chakshu indriyam jayate. Therefore, Sukshma tejasaha vishesha rupa gunam chakshu indriyam janati. The unique property of Sukshma tejasaha being rupam, the form. Therefore, the sense organ, eyes, chakshuhu, which is born of Sukshma tejasaha, tejas, Agni, it has the ability of seeing, darshanam. From the sattvika aspect of Apaha, the water, the sense organ of tongue was born. Sukshma adhyaha rasanendriyam jayate. Sambhutam is jayate, born. Therefore, tasyaha sukshma adhyaha vishesha rasagunam vagindriyam or tugindriyam janati. The unique property of sukshma apaha, subtle water, is rasa, taste. Therefore, the sense organ, vak, tongue, which is born of sukshma apaha, which has the ability of taste. The tongue is also skin only. So, but we have to say specifically tongue. Vagindriyam, we have to say vagindriyam or rasanendriyam. From the sattvika aspect of Prithvi, the sense organ of nose was born. Sukshma prithivyaha granendriyam sambhutam jayate. Therefore, sukshma prithivyaha vishesha gunam kim, this gandha gunam. Granendriyam janati. The sukshma prithvi, which has a unique property of gandha, the smell. Therefore, the sense organ nose, which is born of sukshma prithvi, it has the ability of smell. Therefore, from the sattva guna of each element, each sense organ is born. Therefore, the 5 sense organs, the indriyani, pancha indriyani of the subtle body are born. These 5 sense organs, they are subtle, not gross, because this is sukshma srishti. Since they are part of the subtle body, sukshma shariram, therefore it has to be subtle only. And indriyam, therefore, indriyam, it is subtle indriyam, not the golakam, not the physical eyes or physical ears, not the physical one. Now, sense organs are born. Up to this we have seen, sense organs are born. Now, can sense organ function on its own? No, sense organs cannot function on its own. Without the mind, sense organs cannot function. Therefore, the mind has to be created. Therefore, the mind, which is a part of the Sukshma Shariram, that is Srishti, that creation is going to be talked about in the next line. We will read that. Etesham panchatattvanam
Panchatattvanam
samashti sattvikamshad
samashti sattvikam
Shad
mano buddhi ahankara chittantakkaranani sambhutani.
Mano buddhi ahankara chittantakarani sambhutani.
Buddhi plus ahankara, buddhi ahankara, yansanti. Chitta plus antakkaranani, chittantakkaranani, dirghasanti, you know it. So there, manaha, buddhihi, ahankaraha, chittam, these are the antakkarana which is born. So now, the sattvika aspect of each element, combined together, they contribute to form the antakkarana. Previously, the sattvika aspect of each element individually resulted in the formation of creation of sense organs, subtle sense organs. Now, the total, they are going to combine sattvika aspect of the 5 elements together, contribute for the formation, the creation of antakkaranam. From the total sattvika aspect of 5 elements, antakkaranam is born. Antakkaranam is only one antakkaranam. Why antakkaranani bhuvachanam? As I said, the same antakkaranam functions as manaha, buddhihi, ahankara, chittam. Because many are the manaha, buddhi, ahankara, therefore antakkaranani. Antakkaranam is only one. Only one mind is there. But the mind functions. The mind plays different roles. Therefore, antakkaranani, the bhagavachanam. Because it is bhagavachanam, not that many minds are there, only one. So, from the sattva amsha, from the sattva amsha of each element. The sattva amsha in equal measure, equal quantity from each element. Sattva aspect of each element, but in equal measure, they come together and antakaranam is born. Sattva guna of all the elements put together form antakaranam. That is what he says. Etesham panchatattvanam, the 5 tattva. Panchatattva is panchamahabhuta. That's called tanmatra. Samashti satvikamshat. Samashti is total. Previous one, samashti is not used. It is vyashti. Because it is, the word samashti is not used previously. Previously means where in the topic of these, the srishti of the indriyas. There samashti, the word is not used. Therefore it is vyashti. Here it is samashti, the total. From the total sattvika aspect, that is sattvika aspect of akasha, sattvika aspect of vayu, sattvika aspect of agni, sattvika aspect of this jala, and the sattvika aspect of prithvi, they come together to form antakaranam. So therefore, antakaranam is what? Antakaranam is nothing but samashti sattva guna of the 5 elements. Sattva guna of all the elements are put together, they form antakaranam. Therefore, it is samashti sattva guna. Samashti sattva guna of the panchamaha bhutani. Since sattva stands for knowledge, therefore mind is responsible for knowledge, for perception. That is why mind is, without mind, how knowledge can take place. And mind is formed from the sattva aspect. Therefore, knowledge is possible. Perception is possible. It is because of the mind. Therefore, the sense organs which are meant for perception has to be backed up by the mind. Without the mind, the sense organs cannot function. Even though the eyes are open, the person is sleeping. Some people, they sleep with their eyes open. The eyes are open, the eyes do not function because the mind is not there. The mind has gone to sleep. The person is sleeping. So, therefore, mind, the antakaranam is born. Therefore, antakaranam, invariably, it is there in the functioning of all the sense organs as well as the organs of action, karmendriyani. Jnanendriyani, karmendriyani, they function because of antakaranam. Therefore, antakaranam is, it is necessary for the activity of jnanendriya and karmendriya. And antakaranam is sattva, kevala sattva gunakam antakaranam. Only it is made of the sattva guna, sattva aspect of the 5 elements. And now antakaranam is divided into 4 based on the function. It does 4 different functions. Therefore, it is called by 4 different names. These names are all functional names. These names are because of the different function. Therefore, functional names. In English, we just call by the name mind. But we call it by 4 different names depending on the different function it does. Like the same person playing the role of a father, brother, son, husband. So too, the antakaranam, they play different roles. They take different roles and therefore they function differently and therefore get different names. That each one is defined here what it is. Mano buddhi ahankara chittani antakaranani iti. So manaha buddhihi ahankara chittam. Already we discussed what is manaha buddhihi. Now chittam ahankara are new. 2 more things are there that we will see. So now the topic is antakaranam. Antakaranani. Let us read. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha.
Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha.
Nischayatmika buddhihi.
Nischayatmika buddhihi.
Ahankarta ahankaraha.
Ahankarta ahankaraha.
Chittanakartru chittam.
Chintanakartru chittam.
Chintanakartru chittam.
Chintanakartru chittam.
Manaso devata chandramaha.
Manaso devata chandramaha.
Buddhehe brahma.
Buddhehe brahma.
Ahankarasya rudraha.
Ahankarasya rudraha.
Chittasya vasudevaha.
Chittasya vasudevaha.
So sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. Manaha, the mind, it is of the nature of sankalpa and vikalpa. Manas sakaranta shabdaha. Manaha manasi manamsi napumsakalinga shabda. So manaha is pratama vibhakti ekavachanam. Don't think it is like Rama shabda. It is sakaranta shabda, different. Napumsakalinga. Manaha manasi manamsi. The declension will be like that. So the mind, the manas, it is of the nature of sankalpa and vikalpa. Sankalpatmakam, vikalpatmakam, manaha. Sankalpa, vikalpa means that vacillating, doubting, oscillation. So like a pendulum, the mind oscillates between the two. The mind has to consider the pros and cons of everything before making a decision, taking a decision to do or not to do, to refrain from doing. When you see an object, you open your eyes and you see the flower. I see the flower. Now, is it a real flower? Because the flower is there. The flower is that I see the flower, but it's real because there are other plastic flowers. There are flowers which are plastic. It looks real. Therefore, the question comes to the mind now, is it a real flower? Now there's a dialogue within the mind, whether it is real or not real, unreal. So that oscillation, it may be a real flower or may not be. So real flower, sankalpa, may not be a real flower, vikalpa. This inconclusiveness, this oscillation, that is called sankalpa, vikalpa, the uncertainty. The uncertainty in understanding what a thing is. That is the function, the job of manas. In the beginning, every perception, unless it is not sure, it is like that only. So the mind has to think what the mind has to think in both ways. Then the buddhi later comes and it decides what it is. The mind, what happens when you see an object, the vritti takes place. Then based on the vritti, now sankalpa, vikalpa happens. There are two different thoughts, whether it is a real flower or it is unreal, not real. The sankalpa, vikalpa, two oscillating different thoughts are there. Therefore it is samshayatmakam, the doubt. There is uncertainty in determining what a thing is. Therefore, samshayatmaka antakarana vrittihi. Therefore, mind is samshayatmaka antakarana vrittihi. Mind is called samshayatmaka antakaranam. The vritti means thought. So the thought is important for thinking. The thoughts are required. Therefore, the thought is vacillating. It is oscillating. This generally happens. This oscillation of the mind like a pendulum. This our real practical anubhava experience. You lock the door and you go out. After going some distance, then again you think, did I lock the door? If the mind says yes, it is locked, then it is sankalpa. You have a doubt now. I don't think so. Maybe I would not have put the latch properly. I would not have locked the door properly. It is vikalpa. Now, to go back, I have to proceed further. To go to the place where you want to go. Now there is a uncertainty, there is a oscillation. One part of the mind says, yes, it is locked. The other part of the mind says, no, it is may not be locked also. So locked or not locked. Then therefore you go back and pull the latch again to check whether it is locked. This is called Sankalpa Vikalpa Samshayatmakam. So Sankalpatmakam Vikalpatmakam Manaha. This is just an example. This can be extended to all the emotional or emotional feelings, that emotions, both positive and negative. So therefore, Samshayatmakam, this is Manaha. So all the thoughts, all the vrittis along with the sensory, the perception, the Indriya Jnanam, relevant to various objects, all take place where? All takes place in the mind only. Now, when it is not conclusive, then that oscillation will be there in the mind. Then therefore you have to think, analyze, then you have to think and analyze. Then that thinking and analyzing, when the thinking and analyzing happens, then the Antakaranam is called the mind. But not come to a conclusion. When it comes to a conclusion, then Antakaranam plays a role of Buddhi. As long as the Antakaranam is a doubting Thomas, indecisive, that is called mind. The mind, there is a thinking happening. It has not concluded. Once it has concluded, then the Antakaranam, the conclusion, it happens because of the Buddhi. The Antakaranam then take the role of a Buddhi and decides, this is what it is. I have locked the door. This is a real flower. So, therefore, the Buddhi comes the next and plays the role, the decision-making role. So, the Buddhi, it distinguishes between the two extreme thoughts and finalizes what it is. Now, if the Buddhi is overpowered by Raga Dvesha, then if it is Raga Dvesha is there, as we saw in the Gita, but if Raga Dvesha is there, then Buddhi also may not function properly. Then the mind will dominate, because you have got Raga, attachment, you have got Dvesha, aversion. Therefore, that will dominate and Buddhi will be suppressed. The mind, Antakaranam, will not be allowed to play the role of Buddhi. Then Antakaranam will play the role of the mind. And it continues to be a Ragi or Dveshi, or indecisive, inconclusive. Therefore, Manaha Nischayatmika Buddhi. Buddhi is of the nature of definiteness, conclusiveness. So, Buddhi, it is not Buddhi, is another part of Antakaranam. The same Antakaranam plays the role of the Buddhi. When the Antakaranam decides for sure, then it is Buddhi. It is this Buddhi, the one and the same Antakaranam plays, or having the different names because of the different function. It is purely functional difference. So Buddhi is of the nature of ascertainment, decision making, Buddhi, Nischayatmika. When you ascertain a flower, it is not a plastic flower, it's a real flower. How do you ascertain? First you see from a distance, then you can touch and see. Even by touch also, even if the touch also sometimes it deceives you, because the flower is made so real, then you can smell it. So, and then we can conclude whether it is a real flower. And once by touch and by smell, the vritti, there is conclusion, then the Antakaranam takes the name Buddhi. Therefore, Nischayatmika Antakarana Vrittihi Buddhihi. Samshayatmika Antakarana Vrittihi Manaha. Nischayatmika Antakarana Vrittihi Buddhihi. The Antakaranam playing the role of the decision maker. So, therefore, the mind is behind that every perception of the sense organs. the resolution of the perception in ascertaining the knowledge which the sense organ had brought into the sense, which the sense organs had brought in from the sense objects. That the resolution of that perception, the knowledge, it is done by buddhi. Resolution perception. For that, buddhi is the faculty. So that is buddhi. Then next one is ahankarta, ahankaraha. Ahankaraha, ahankarta, aham karta. I the karta, I am the karta. Kartri shabda, karta, kartaro, kartaraha. Here aham karta, I am the subject. Aham karta, the sense of individuality. The notion of I am the doer, aham karta, that is called ahankaraha. Ahankritihi, ahankaraha. I am the doer. I am the hearer. I am the talker. I am the teacher. I am the student. I am the seer. So everywhere this I is there. So when the thought, the vritti related to the subject is called ahankaraha. So this vritti could be with respect to any knowledge or action. The identification with the body and the mind, either in terms of action or knowledge, that by which you identify with various factors, it's called ahankaraha. Etat mama shariram, this is my body. Etat mama manaha, he say, this is my body, this is my mind. Agam etat akaravam, agam tat akaravam, I did this, I did that, all those things. Who did this? I did this, I did this. That is ahankarta, where the vritti is I, the subject. Therefore, the subject is called ahankarta, ahankritihi, ahankaraha. This is also a thought only. This is also a thought, vritti only. It's a special thought, vishesha vritti. Why it is called vishesha vritti? Because other vrittis keep varying. All the thoughts keep varying. But this ahankarta, ahankaraha is constant, do not vary. When see a flower vritti, a flower thought happens. When you see a vriksha, a tree thought happens. The thoughts change depending on the various perception. What about ahankara? It doesn't change. It remains same. Ahankarta, ahankaraha remains same. That ahankara also is a thought only. The word ahankara, it is also used in a different sense. It's also used in different sense in the word, in the sense like the pride. The sense of pride, ahankara is used. But here it is not that meaning. Ahankara is not egoism. That is not the meaning here. Ahankara is that it is connected to the subject. The vritti where the subject is there. It is connected to the subject. That is the subject thought is there. It's a special thought. Special thought which is invariably present. So therefore ahankaraha. Here it is not used in the sense of the pride. Here ahankaraha, ahankara is required. Otherwise, when perception happens, then who has this perception? You have the perception. You have to say, I saw it. I did this. So the I notion is the right translation. So it is not the pride or ego. It is I notion. That is also notion. This I with what you connect is important. This I as Atma is the correct knowledge. The I as confining to the body, mind, senses is wrong knowledge. Because you are confining Atma to this body, mind, senses. Therefore, it's a notion, I notion. That is ahankaraha. That is ahankara. Next is chintana kartra chittam. Chitta means memory. So, chittam, the antakaranam plays a role of chittam. So, chittam is that which does the job of recollection, remembering, memory. So it is defined Chintana Kartru, Chintana Karta, Chintana Kartru Chittam. It is one word. Oh, sorry, it is Chintana Kartru Chittam, two different words. Chintana Kartru is Napumsakalinga here. Kartru, Kartruni, Kartruni. Chittam is Napumsakalinga, therefore Chintana Kartru. So Chintana Kartru is one word, Chittam is another word. Ahankarta one word, Ahankaraha another word. In the line Ahankarta is Pullinga. Ahankaraha is Pullinga, therefore Ahankarta is Pullinga. Here in this Vakyam, Chittam is Napumsakalinga, therefore Chintana Kartru is there, which is Napumsakalinga, Pratama Vibhakti, Ekavachana. So Chintana Kartru. Why it is Chintana Kartru Napumsakalinga? Because Chittam, Napumsakalinga. So Chintana Karta is one who does the Chintanam. Chintanam means what? Recollection. Anusandhanam. Recollection of past experience. Recollection of past experience. This judgment, evaluation, everything is included in this Chittam. Why? Because this when you evaluate an anubhava, an experience. It means that experience has taken place. It is there in your memory. Now you analyze. You analyze what had happened or what you have gained through that experience. Therefore, it requires the remembrance of the past experience. Based on that only, you say this is right, this is wrong, this is to be done in this situation, this should not be done. How do you know? This is based on your past experience. So you evaluate based on your past knowledge and experience, and then you proceed further. So the memory, so the experience, the knowledge, everything is stored in the memory that you invoke based on your knowledge or your experience. You decide to do what is to be done the next in future. So the collection of past experiences also responsible, also important for deciding to be done, for deciding to do what is to be done later. So the recollection of the knowledge gained through past experience is required for thinking. It is required for thinking, analyzing, and then deciding. Therefore, this is called Chittam, Anusandhatmika Chittam. Therefore, Chittam is bringing back to memory both good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant experiences which are stored in the Chittam. It is like the hard disk of the computer. It is a hard disk of the computer. It's an inbuilt disk which Bhagavan has given us. It has got unlimited memory. It has got unlimited memory. Hard disk have got some 8 TB, 10 TB, even 20 TB. But this is memory which Bhagavan has given is unlimited. Even you can invoke by yoga practice. Some yogis, they remember the past Janma also. They remember the previous Janma also. Once somebody asked Swami Vivekananda, then he was talking, he was giving a lecture or talking to someone. Then he asked, do you remember your past Janma? Yes, he said. But he did not disclose what it is. But he said, yes, he remembers the previous Janma also. That is all, everything is stored in this Chittam. It's a very big hard disk. So we don't need to have that much capacity. At least whatever we learned in the previous class, that we have to remember. That much storage is there, that is enough. All the knowledge is stored in the memory. The Sanskritam knowledge, Shabda knowledge, everything is stored in the memory. You have to invoke that. You have to bring back that memory. Therefore, the memory to be kept very strong. It has to be alive. The knowledge is should be stored in the memory, not in the books. Knowledge is there in the books. Let it be there in the books. What is the use? It has to be in the mind. Pustakasta ya vidya Parahasta gatam dhanam. Karyakale samutpanne nasa vidya natad dhanam. The knowledge is there in the book. And the money which you are given to someone, what is the use of that? Your money you are given to someone. It will be of no use. When you need, they are not available for you. So the knowledge is there in the book. The book is not there now. The book is not there now. You have kept a book in your house, but you want the knowledge of the knowledge which is there in the book. Similarly, the money you need, but you have given to someone, you have lent it to someone, but you need it urgently. So it is of no use. Therefore, pustakasta ya vidya. Pustakasta ya vidya. The vidya, the knowledge which is there in the book, of no use. It has to be where? It has to be in the mind, in the chittam, you have to store it. So that wherever you go, you carry it. You don't have to carry the book all the time. You carry your mind all the time. So let the knowledge be there in the memory. Let the Shabda, Sanskritam will be there in the memory. You don't have to carry the book. So, therefore, what is the use of knowledge stored in the books if it is not stored in the memory? Therefore, if it is not stored in the memory, then that knowledge is not a knowledge. Sa na vidya bhavati, pustakasta ya vidya, parastagatam dhanam, karyakare samatpane na sa vidya, na sa vidya, it is not a vidya. Na tad dhanam, it is not dhanam. So that is not knowledge. So therefore, chittam is that which stores all the knowledge. So with this, the topic of the Antakaranam is over. Antakarana Srishti has happened. And the Antakaranam is called by 4 different names. Manaha, Buddhihi, Ahankaraha, and Chittam. Then the Devata of the Antakaranam is mentioned. Manaso Devata Chandramaha. That is, the Devata of the mind is Chandraha, the moon. We have to discuss on this a little. The moon, the moon, when we say here, it is not the physical moon, the Devata, Chandra Devata, not the physical moon. Physical moon is a symbol of that Devata, Chandra Devata. So, the presiding deity of Manas is Chandrama. Not the physical one, it is the deity, the Devata or the order which resides over the Chandrama, the moon. The moon is connected to the mind. The moon is connected to the mind. During the full moon or the new moon, you will see the waves of the ocean rise up. So there is an influence of moon on the waves of the ocean. Similarly, there is an influence of moon on the mind of some people. That is why some people, they behave very erratically during the new moon or the full moon time. Those are very critical time, because the moon can have influence on the mind of such people. Therefore, you can see the connection. Why Chandrama is called the Devata of the mind? Because there's a connection. That's why Chandrama, Chandra Devata is a presiding deity of the mind. The emotions, the feelings, thoughts, they all come under the influence of this Chandra Devata. He is a presiding deity. And Buddhi, for Buddhi, it is Brahma. It is Brahmaji. It is Brahmaji, the creator. It is the creator. Brahmaji is the presiding deity. Because Brahmaji has got all knowledge. Yes, all knowledge to create this Srishti, the universe. Is a Sarvajna. Therefore, Buddhi has to be well informed like Brahmaji. That's why Brahmaji is a deity. Is the presiding, the Lord over the Buddhi. Ahankarasya Rudraha, Chittasya Vasudevaha. So Ahankarasya Rudraha. Rudra is the presiding lord of Ahankara, and for Chitta it is Vasudeva. We'll discuss this on the next class. So we'll stop here, and we will resume our class after Navaratri, after October 15th. Okay, we don't have class next week because Navaratri starts on Thursday. So we will have our class after October 15th, after the Jayadashami. Okay, so you also have good time, enjoy your Navaratri. We will see after Navaratri. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद.
Happy Navaratri to all.
धन्यवाद.
Yeah, happy Navaratri to all.
धन्यवादः. हैप्पी नवरात्रि टू ऑल.